Microsoft announces two new sizes for their custom SSDs, a 512 gigabit and a 2 terabyte version of their customized SSDs by Seagate. But people seem to be outraged with the prices. Hi, welcome to ZGadgetreview. Finally, Microsoft has announced two other storage options for the Xbox Series X and S. Before, we only had the 1 terabyte option. Now we have two more, that being the 512 gigabit and the 2 terabyte options for storage. People are complaining about how expensive the 2 terabyte option is, and I agree with you that asking $400 for 2 terabytes of storage sounds like a lot of money. I mean, it is almost the price of a whole Xbox Series X in and of itself. But the truth is that it really isn't Microsoft's fault for what they're asking for. The price is within what the industry is asking for 2 terabytes of storage right now. And yes, I do agree with you that $400 is just an incredible amount of money to pay for storage. I personally would not pay $400 for 2 terabytes, as much as 2 terabytes might be a lot of storage and kind of making like an investment for the future is a good idea. But I'm thinking that the prices are going to come down eventually. They cannot sustain this pricing forever while the competition drops in price. And at the same time, I know what you're going to say, well, there technically is no competition for these customized storage options for Xbox, because the only partner that I have right now is Seagate, and they're the only ones making it. So I hear you. Technically, they don't have to change their pricing ever if they don't want to, but it will be a really dumb thing for them to do, to not change their pricing in the future. So let's start with the pricing for the OG Seagate storage card for Xbox Series X and S. So the 1 terabyte option, the price for that is $220. And I don't think the price has actually moved since it was released. Now let's go with the new one, that smaller size, in this case, a 512 gigabit Seagate storage expansion card, or SSEC. That's, I think, what they should call it, SSEC. It's 512 gigs. That's going to set you back $140. That's a little more manageable, right? $140 sounds like a good deal. But when you think about it, 512 gigs really isn't a lot. I mean, Call of Duty alone will probably consume half of that storage. So it kind of makes sense that you go, well, 512 gigabytes doesn't sound like a lot. Is it worth it? Is it not? So that's the pricing for that. And then we have, like I said, a 2 terabyte option, which actually is $399.99. But when you go to Amazon to look for comparable SSD cards, especially SSD cards that are going to be going into the PS5, because as we know, PS5 is going to use off-the-shelf SSD cards. But there are certain requirements that these SSDs for the PS5 have to meet. And in order to get those, they are around the price of this 2 terabyte option. So I went to Amazon to look for options within the range of what is needed for the PS5, in order to see if there is a reason for people to be angry about the pricing that Microsoft is asking for these SSD cards. We have here the Gigabyte RS Gen 4 7000S SSD, 2 terabytes. This one comes with a heatsink, which is what is needed for the PS5. And as you see here, it's $399. Actually, the price usually is $430, but it's right now on sale for $399. Then we have this Sabrent, I think that's how you say it, 2 terabyte Rocket 4 Plus NVMe, and this one is $369. I wasn't sure if this will work with the PS5, but in the questions that people ask, I looked, and actually they say that this works for PS5. Then we have this Samsung SSD. So we have this Samsung SSD, the 980 Pro, 2 terabyte NVMe, Gen 4 internal gaming SSD, blah, blah, blah. And this one is supposed to be compatible with the PS5 as well. In the question area where people ask if things are compatible with the PS5, is this. And this one, again, if you see the list price is $429.99, but right now is on sale for $351. So while it's cheaper than what Microsoft is asking for, it's still cheaper because it's on sale. Now, I don't know if this pricing is going to stay the same forever or if it's going to change, but right now it is about $40 cheaper, $50 cheaper than what Microsoft is going to be asking for. And then we have this Western Digital Black SSD card, which I think is the one that Matt Cerny showed on his Twitter picture when the announcement for the SSD, what SSD will be supported for the PS5 first came out. And this one, as you can see here, is the Western Digital Black 2 terabytes NVMe. And again, I looked it up to make sure that it was compatible for the PS5, and it was. This one right now is at $339. So this is $60 cheaper than what Microsoft is asking for theirs. But if you see there, the regular price is usually $529.99. So if we go by what the regular pricing of these devices are, technically the one that Microsoft is selling is on the cheap side if we go by that. If we go by what the sale price is right now, what the discounted price is, then yes, Microsoft is selling their devices for a little more than what everybody else is. But it really isn't that much more. It's between $30 and $60, which isn't a lot of money when you think about it. So for people to be outraged due to the price that Microsoft is asking for their device doesn't really make sense because, again, it is part of what the industry is selling these things for right now. So it wouldn't make sense for Microsoft to say, hey, we're going to completely discount this and sell it for, I don't know, $300 only or $350. While that might be a better price, thinking as a consumer money-wise, and I don't like spending a lot of money, I don't have a lot of money to spend, and all those things. So taking that into consideration, yes, of course, if Microsoft sold it for $300, $350, I would be so excited and happy about it. But that's just not how it works. As we've seen, companies sell things based on what the market can bear. And if the market is selling SSDs for $500 at 2 terabytes, then is Microsoft really gouging their consumers with the pricing that they're setting for these things? In my opinion, no. And I am not defending Microsoft because their pricing is great. No, I'm defending them because they are selling their goods within what the market is selling their goods. Again, I do wish that the pricing will be less. And maybe for Black Friday, they'll drop their prices, and sell the 1 terabyte from $220 to like $200 or like $180. That I will go and buy immediately if I saw that deal, because that will make sense. And then if they should start back to $220, at least I'll say between $30 and $40. Hey, at least you have options now when it comes to storage. Those aren't the only things that they are selling. We also, I did a video a few weeks ago that there was a leak of a actual external SSD that works like these expansion cards. And that one is also cheaper. I will include the link in the description section for that if you want to take a look at it. That's also available now. What do you think about this? What do you think about the prices? Do you think the prices are ridiculous? Will you get any of these other options? Is this something you've been looking forward to, and now that it's out and the prices have been announced, you are disappointed with it? Let me know in the comment section. That's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.